Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to my 300 subscribers special. Yes, I decided that I am going to do a 300 subscriber special in like I did back in March when I hit 200 subscribers. And yeah, so it's a what if theory and it's a Doctor Who what if theory because I was thinking the other night whilst I was in bed, what Doctor Who what if theory could I do? You know, and it came to me, what if Donna went with the Doctor at the end of The Runaway Bride, her debut episode? And that got me thinking, how then would that lead into season 3, how that would shape and unfold, and how season 4 largely would not happen because of what would happen if Donna went traveling with the Doctor earlier than intended. So that's what this what if theory is going to be about. And once again, thank you all for 300 subscribers. I'm actually recording this just before I hit 300, so I'm still at technically 290 as of recording this, so I don't know exactly when this is going to get posted, but I hope you enjoy. So, Donna decides to join the Doctor at the end of The Runaway Bride. The Doctor asks her if she would like to come traveling with her. She still asks, is it always this dangerous? The Doctor is like, yes, but there is a lot of fun that can be had, and and all of that. And she thinks about it, looks back over to uh, her home. She sees her father and her mother and decides, yeah, why not? Let's go traveling. And so she joins the Doctor. Now, the first hurdle that I had when I was coming up with this what if theory, because there's a few episodes that I'm like, okay, how does this change things? And that first episode being Smith and Jones, because that episode was there to introduce us to Martha and have her then become the new companion. But that can't happen with Donna there. So how would the Doctor get involved with that? I don't think he would. I think he would bring Donna directly to New Earth, like he does in episode 3, or bring her back to Shakespeare, to Donna to meet Shakespeare for that episode. So then, what happens with Smith and Jones? Because obviously it still happens, and it does. It still happens, but without the Doctor. Instead, I think, and I'm going to stretch it here. I'm going to say it's Torchwood that deals with this. Now, you have to also keep in mind, this is season 1 Torchwood, not season 2 or season 3 Torchwood, because I'd say this Smith and Jones takes place somewhere between the end of after the end of episode 10 of season 1 of Torchwood, where the three people are sent forward in time from the 50s, because that episode essentially takes place around Christmas. Uh, and the episode 11, the episode Captain Jack Harkness, which we do know takes place in 2008, because that's when is the first time we see the vote Saxon signs. So somewhere in the middle between season 1 of episode 10 of Torchwood versus the episode 12 Captain Jack Harkness is when I would say, in this new timeline, the Torchwood crew would go to Martha's hospital. They would hack it to have either Jack as a patient and Owen and Gwen as transfer medical students, or have Owen, being a doctor already, take up his residency there, and have Gwen as a new trainee doctor that's again transferred, what have you. I would say the main three people inside the building would be Jack, Owen, and Gwen, and outside in the van would be Toshiko, so she could hack into all this stuff to change what needs to be changed, and Yanto, because again, this is season one, Yanto didn't really have much to do, so he's probably still back at the Torchwood Hub in Cardiff. And then the whole episode plays out as it does in the original timeline, just substituting the Doctor for Jack, and then with the additional bonus of Owen and Gwen there. And I'd say this would then put more strain on the Owen Gwen relationship. But eventually, everyone's saved, they're all brought back, and Martha is, still alive and could potentially join Torchwood after that point. So I'll leave that up to you. If you think Martha is going to join Torchwood, then we'll have that timeline move forward with Martha having joined Torchwood. If you don't like that, then we'll have the timeline move forward where she continues to get her doctorate degree. Now, moving on to the Shakespeare episode. This episode essentially plays out as it does in the original timeline, but, swapping Martha for Donna. And the only key difference is when at night the Doctor and Donna are supposed to be sharing a bed, Donna is not having that. She forces the Doctor to sleep on the floor. And that is the only real change to this episode. After that, the episode plays out how it does in the original timeline. Now we get on to, Gridlock, episode 3. That episode, again, plays out how it does in the original timeline, just swapping Martha for Donna. But a lot more sassy, because that's the way Donna is. Then we get on to the Dalek two-parter. And again, I don't think this episode changes all that much. I don't think there would be any major changes except for, Donna consoling Tallulah a little bit more and going into more on her slowly trying to get over what happened in the Runaway Bride with Lance, and there'd be a stronger connection between Tallulah and Donna. But all in all, the episode ends the same way that it does. Now, the next episode is where I also had an issue with, and that is the Lazarus experiment. Because in the original timeline, the only reason the Doctor got involved was because of bringing Martha back after her, what should have been one trip, turned into 3 trips in the TARDIS. And then, of course, he catches the news broadcast of Lazarus, and that's what results in him getting involved in that episode. This timeline, however, I'm going to stretch it a little. We're going to have the Doctor and Donna back on Earth after dealing with an adventure that we don't get to see on screen. And as they're just walking and chatting, becoming more and more friendly with one another, Donna gets a phone call. And it's a phone call from Sylvia, her mother, because, as I mentioned in the beginning of this what if theory, Donna never went in to say goodbye to her mother. And so Sylvia had no idea where Donna was, akin to Rose and Jackie in season 1 when Rose disappeared for an entire year. So they get on the phone, and that's when Donna is informed of her father's passing. And whilst the Doctor had walked on, he realizes he's talking to himself, looks back at a Donna who's in tears, comes back and asks her what's wrong. She mentions that her father just passed away, had passed away during her travels, and wants to go back to back home to see her mother. And they do. They go back. She reunites with Sylvia, not saying much. Sylvia sees the doctor, gives him a slap across the face, after what happened in the Runaway Bride, and then now knowing she's been with him, and the TV's on in the background. And that's when the doctor catches the same news clip of Professor Lazarus saying what he has planned. And so then, of course, eventually the doctor and Donna go to this event. Sylvia's at home, or she could be off we'll say she's off doing her food shopping. And that's when one of the master's people, who knows of the master and that, um, goes up to Sylvia and tells her Donna's not safe traveling with the doctor, and informs her a bit of who the doctor is, akin to how that happened in the original timeline, but with Martha's mother. After that, the episode plays out as it does, except for another divergent in this new timeline. Martha's sister, who worked with Professor Lazarus, dies. Tish dies in this episode. She isn't saved, and that's a timeline shift, a key timeline shift. The episode ends as it does, with Sylvia pleading with Donna not to travel with the doctor as she's packing up clothes. Because remember, she only left in her wedding dress. She's been wearing clothes that is left in the wardrobe of the TARDIS. She wants to have her own clothes. And it eventually the episode ends with the doctor and Donna traveling forward again. Now we get to 42, where this episode is another tough one to figure out how it changes, how to work with these new changes of it being Donna instead of Martha. And thinking about it, I don't think it changes. I think the doctor gives Donna's phone the same thing he gave to Rose in season 1 and Martha in the original timeline, allowing her to phone home. And she does with all these quizzes, whilst the Masters people, or Saxon's people are there recording and all of that stuff, with Sylvia complying because she's worried about her daughter. She's been told what the doctor is like, and she's worried. She's genuinely worried. So that's why she's complying with these people. But the episode ends as it does in the original timeline. Now we move on to the Human Nature and Family of Blood two-parter. Another one that I was thinking how this changes, what changes, how does it work with Donna. And I don't think it does. I think the episode, the two-parter, Human Nature and the Family of Blood, plays out how it does in the original timeline. Just swap Donna for Martha, except, Donna isn't in love with the doctor. That's something that, doesn't happen. Donna does not fall in love with the doctor. They are how they are in season 4. They are best friends, because that's what the doctor wanted after Rose. And the episode, the two-parter ends, the doctor getting his memory back, and doing what he did to the family. And episode ends. Blink happens exactly how it does in the original timeline, because it's a Doctor Light episode. Instead, it's the Doctor and Donna that zapped back to 1969, and it's the Doctor and Donna that record the DVD Easter eggs and are seen at the end of the episode. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. False alarm. So, yeah, now we get on to the major timeline shift. And that is the Master three-parter. Utopia plays out how it does in the original timeline. Jack comes in, they go back, They find the Master regenerates into Saxon, and he steals the TARDIS, and the episode ends how it does in the original timeline. No changes whatsoever, except for a lot more heavy flirting between Donna and Jack, akin to how it happened in Stolen Earth and Journey's End in season 4. Now, the sound of drums is where things change completely. The Doctor, Donna, and Jack come back. Basically, the episode plays out almost beat for beat how it does in the original timeline. You know, the Doctor, Donna, and Jack on the run, Sylvia and Wilfred Mott getting captured by the Master, brought onto the Valiant, and introducing the Tocklefame, aging up the Doctor, capturing Jack as well. But here's the thing. Donna is not a strong enough person to do what Martha done. I don't think Donna is a strong enough mentally at this point, certainly because, you know, she's not the Dr. Donna, to travel the earth for the year, planting the seeds of the Doctor in everywhere she goes, and eventually making it back, and all that. I don't think that happens at all. I think she gets captured, like the Doctor and Jack, and is kept by the Master. The Master removes 1% of the human population, and he starts building, you know, the strong nukes and to start going out to conquer other worlds, you know, with the TARDIS being the paradox machine and what have you. That's the new timeline. The Master has complete and utter control of the Earth. No one stops him. No one can stop him. Sarah Jane Smith, part of the 1% taken out. Jack obviously is captured, and Unit decimated. Any potential threat to the Master is dealt with as swiftly as possible, either through the 1% being wiped out of the human population, or other coups that rise up. And now, with this new timeline, going into season 4, what changes? Not a lot. The Titanic crashes. We'll start there. We'll start with the Voyage of the Damned. The Titanic still crashes, like it does in the Turn Left timeline. It crashes, it destroys London. The Master could not care less. He is busy out in the galaxy taking over other planets with his Tocklefades, firing the nukes and what have you at these other planets. He doesn't give two shits. And so, Partners in Crime, the episode that's supposed to reintroduce Donna to the Doctor and start that time travel shenanigans. Well, Madame Foster, who's responsible for the adipose, because the Master has complete control of the Earth, that doesn't happen. Her adipose plan does not happen. And it's either she does it on a different planet or not at all. That is up to you. Because there's two ways that can go. Doesn't matter to this whole complete story. Now we get to, we're going to fast forward, skipping, you know, the whole time travel shenanigans, you know, with the Pompeii episode. Pompeii still erupts. We're not going to include the fact that it's the Doctor and Donna that is responsible for Pompeii. The Planet of the Unit episode does not happen. The same with the Unicorn and the Wasp episode. That does not happen. Now we get to the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky. That does not happen. How and why does that not happen? Well, again, Earth is under control of the Master. If the Sontarans attempted to do what they were doing, you know, the Atmos did exist at that time. But the Master dealt with the Sontarans. Easily. The Toclafane just instantly wiped them out. And the boy genius who developed the Atmos, either now works for the Master or was taken out in the 1% that the Toclafane destroyed, or was a part of a resistance to stop the Master. None of those three outcomes really change anything moving forward. Because after that, we are skipping straight to the season 4 finale. Rose comes back and she sees what's happened. She sees that this is not where she was supposed to come back. This is completely different to what she knows. Once she realizes that it was this person called the Master and that the Doctor has been captured, she sets about to free him. But the Master's off-world. He's off-world dealing with other stuff. And so she goes to try and break him out, because the Doctor, Donna, Jack, they're all still on the Valiant. And just as she's about to teleport up to it, the Earth is moved. The Daleks have moved it. And the Master doesn't necessarily care. He's conquered half of the known galaxy at this point. Doing what he's done, he's recruited the Cybermen to be on his side with otherwise threat of destruction, and obviously not the Daleks, because the Daleks are hiding in the Medusa Cascade, but he also ends up either destroying the Sontarans or recruiting them. There's a whole different load of things he could have done. He could either conquered their world or they teamed up with him. Either or, the Master, at this point in time, does not care about one lowly planet. Yeah, the Doctor's on it, but what can the Doctor do? The Doctor's still trapped. He's still an old man. There's not a lot he can do. And so the Daleks have free reign. They have what they want and they use it. They use the reality bomb and they wipe out all parallel worlds, all alternate realities, and the only thing that is left is the Daleks, because there was only one person who could have stopped them, being the Dr. Donna, but because that didn't happen, because the Master has complete control of the Earth, the Daleks are the only ones that are left. It's a Dalek victory, so to speak. And that is the end of this what if theory. Of what if Donna when traveling with the Doctor at the end of The Runaway Bride. It's not a happy ending. It really isn't. If you think that Donna could have been more capable of doing what Martha done in the year from the end of The Sound of Drums to the beginning of The Last of the Time Lords, maybe then things would be different. And then the rest of the timeline would slot in correctly. But I don't think at that point Donna was strong enough to go wandering the Earth for the year. Martha definitely was, obviously, because we see that in the original timeline. But I don't think she could have. And that's my personal opinion. And that's why this what if played out how it does. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you thought of this what if in the comments down below. And once again, thank you all for 300 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Again, I'm recording this prior to hitting 300. So I don't know how long it's going to take for this video to come out. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time for whatever video is next. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next upload.